Billy is very busy chasing Stugotz around. It's a nightmare of a life. I have regrets about assigning to Billy the babysitting of Stugotz while Billy, I didn't know he was going to have a second child, while Billy already has the responsibilities of chasing around a lot of irresponsible little people. But while it's delayed, the useless sound montage has indeed gotten here. Before we get to that, though, I simply want to show you video, all of you video, of what is happening in Colorado, where last night at 10 p.m., students started lining up for the extra student tickets that might be available because the 12,000 student tickets are already gone. So at 6 o'clock this morning, outside of the stadium, where all of college football's media is descending this weekend, this was the student line for tickets at a nowhere program that was one of the worst I've ever seen last year.
Prime time.
This is snaking up some stairs around the stadium. I'm going to say it's thousands of people because it's not hundreds of people in this line. It's a line I would never stand in for anything. Wow. You could tell me there is freedom. Freedom is at the end of a line.
Fries?
I'm going to well, fries I might. Freedom fries, I might stand in a line like that. How many people, Lucy?
This line is pretty long.
Yeah.
Lucy, how many people would you say that this line might be
There's
more?
At least like 42.
2 million.
Wasn't asking either one of you. Was directly asking the question of Lucy. Didn't want to hear from either one of you. Heard plenty from Mike today.
I did get distracted by that, so I lost count in the middle, so I don't really know.
Let's go.
Say 2 million. Say 2 million.
2 million.
42.
17.
38.
This is not that impressive, Dan. This happens everywhere. Not here, but everywhere else.
This is impressive. It's happening at Colorado. Salute the Boulder.
There's more people in line for the extra tickets than there were at the Miami of Texas A&M game.
Oh, free tickets. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah,
There were 60,000 people at that game. Which is,
that is rich. That's okay.
It's a very big stadium.
How are we feeling about the useless sound montage, Billy?
It's here, Dan. We're back. Football is back, and so are coaches and players saying absolutely nothing at all.
Any new stars? Any old stars? Any familiar faces? Who is starring in the useless sound montage this week?
Well, we get a little bit from everyone here. We don't want to, it's week 1, Dan, so we don't want to say who's going to be a star for sure, who isn't, but we have our friends that are part of it every single year. We're never going to forget Mike Tomlin's there. Dan Campbell, of course, is there. LaFleur is back. Just, a little bit of spices of everyone in here.
You guys saw on Dan Campbell, correct? It was pointed out again, because Dan Campbell won a game, how absurd his coffee order is at Starbucks. It is 2 ventis with 2 espresso shots. It's the equivalent of 10 Red Bulls, what Man Campbell is having every morning, which cannot be healthy.
I did that once. I tried it just to see what it was like, and I really thought I was going to die. Yeah. Like, I was in the bathroom and I was cramping so bad, and I was like, oh my God. It was like COVID time too, so I was like, I can't go to the hospital. I can't go to the hospital with all these COVID people there because I'm going to show up and be like, I wanted to make a silly little TikTok trying a coffee diet. It was the most miserable day of my life.
Yeah. People.
What happened?
I don't want to say what happens. I'm a lady, but it was not nice. It was the worst. By like hour 2, I was shaking. Like, it was the most, like, I genuinely was cramping so bad that I was literally like, do I have to go to the hospital? But I couldn't. My pride was, I was like, I'd rather die here than go to the hospital.
Did you die?
I didn't die because I was like, I can't, like, walk in there and there were actually sick people and be like, I just drank too much coffee because I thought it'd be a funny bit.
It was a funny bit. It was right then and there that I knew that we had to hire Lucy, honestly.
We had to hire a cramping, constipated Lucy because she tried.
That was not the issue.
Not constipated. Quite the opposite, probably.
She'd fit right in.
She'd right in. Let's do the useless sound montage.
coming in here and starting the season off the right way, and I think we did that in all phases.
All three phases.
And it's why we play with 3 phases.
Wanting to do some certain things in all 3 phases.
Offense, defense, coaching, special teams, whatever, you name it. When you get 40-0, there's a lot of blame to go around, and I'll take the head of it.
In those circumstances where you can't create splash,
I think kind of the moral of the story is that we shot ourselves in the foot so many times.
We had some things certainly that, we got to clean up and we want to fix and make better.
It's far from perfect, and there's a lot of cleaning up.
We got to get that cleaned up because that's something you can improve on by being disciplined and not having those penalties,
Let the fantasy guys worry about that. Hats off to the Rams. They wanted it more. We just didn't execute when it comes down to it. And, I'll be the first to say that, as always, you can put that on me.
We didn't score enough to win, and again, that falls on me. That falls on my shoulders.
And we just fell behind because of me, and I put it on myself.
So on offense, we got to finish drives, we got to score touchdowns, and that starts with me, so.
It falls on me, the one drive with the penalties. We want them to be violent, aggressive, but we got to get that cleaned up because we kind of shot ourselves in the foot that one drive, but that falls on me, so we got to play smarter.
I didn't do a good enough job, today, getting us, adjusted throughout the game.
It's never going to be about one guy. We're going to block better, we're going to get into routes better, we're going to get open quicker, and we have to throw the ball better, and the runners have to run better.
It's over now. Would've, could've, should've. We won, and winning is the only thing that matters.
But we got the dub. Just move forward and just focus and practice a little hard on the things we messed up on.
We got kicked in the teeth today in a lot of ways.
Go back to work here. Try to correct some of the things that we obviously need to do better.
Just everything that you want your quarterback to represent. This guy's checking all the boxes. And
they've been working hard, been practicing hard, they've been getting better. And for us to make those kind of mistakes, that was disappointing. And I know we are all disappointed, but we're all thrilled.
Yeah, like I said, I got to look at the tape.
Got to go back and look at the tape.
And again, we're going to watch the rest of the tape, and we're going to take a look at some things, and we'll evaluate it off of the tape and get a chance to talk with him.
We got to go back and look at the tape. We got to go back and look at the tape, look and see where we're at with those guys.
Absolutely, but I need to watch the tape too.
We'll have a chance to see the tape.
I thought offense was absolutely speaking the right language at halftime.
When it's raining like that, it's something that you got to handle. We didn't handle it today.
Sometimes it's the inches like that set you back from gaining some true momentum in the first half, and that's what this game was about.
He's a football player.
It was erroneous, I thought. That's what we do in player meetings when there's a ring. No? I didn't say it was you.
I think the biggest thing is just collective effort as a whole team. Just, I think it takes, all of us, and we definitely, we're excited about, who we are and where we're going to be, and I think the biggest thing is continue to push.
So I just kind of try to have a one-play mentality, try to go 1-0 each and every play.
And those guys played gutsy. We got off the field in the second half. They made some gutsy stops, and I thought they pulled through. Baker's gutsy. He's tough. He made some gutsy runs at the end. Getting us in the right plays, Baker in the second half, adjusting to what they were doing was huge for him as well. He played a gutsy, tough, mentally tough ball game. It's a great win today. We got to move on tomorrow. It's just good to know you won't go 0-17.
It's frustrating because I called their ass L's, and we just lost to some L's, so I'm pissed on my part. I'm pissed on that end.
All right, that was fun.
Who the hell was that at the end? What kind of voice?
Dan Campbell. He was eating knees.
That's what Lucy sounded like in the bathroom.
It was not fun.
What week one do you guys feel in professional football was undercovered? Because I have a couple of nominees. The quarterback position has changed so much in efficiency that when I see the stat that Tannehill is 13 for 30 with three interceptions, the 13 for 30 catches my eye just as much as the 3 interceptions because quarterbacks don't play that way. But to me, the one that was most undercovered in week one was that Deshaun Watson easily won a game, even though it appears that Deshaun Watson kind of stinks now, because Joe Burrow, after getting the richest contract in the history of sports, in the history of his sport, a contract from a cheap franchise. This number was stunning to me. They guaranteed him $219 million. The previous high of guarantee from a notoriously cheap franchise with the Bengals was $31 million that he threw for 82 yards and 6 first downs. To me, that was washed away by football is so giant that there are certain games that just don't get talked about the next day because we grab the best 5 or 6, and Dallas is always in the mix, and we're talking about the big teams, and sometimes some things blow away in the dust, and that game feels like it was swallowed by the rest of the coverage when I'm like, man, that's confusing. That I don't think, even though Mike Ryan had, because the Bengals are never any good against the Browns, and because the pass rush is so good for the Browns that Myles Garrett is just fooling around as the middle linebacker before he just runs right past the center, I don't think anybody would have had the under 83 yards on Joe Burrow as a bet.
I mean, under 100 yards from one of the best quarterbacks in the league is not something that anyone would expect. I did think that their offense would struggle just because Joe Burrow's barely got any practice and because of the injury and because he was going up against a good defense on the road, although it didn't matter where the game would be played. The Browns always struggle week 1, and now they've won 2 out of their last 3 week 1 games. But I think it's a credit to Joe Burrow's last 5 years that no one's going to be talking about that. Now, if he does it in week 2, people will chat, but other people struggled mightily.
The play that jumped out from that game that everyone is fascinated about is Myles Garrett, middle linebacker, comes up to the line, pantomiming that he's dribbling a basketball between his legs. It has to be terrifying for Burrow because then he easily just runs past their center who cannot deal with his weight leverage. But the most impressive play to me in that game from Myles Garrett was the one that finished Joe Burrow's afternoon. It was a double team on the corner that he just split right through with a back chipping, making it no problem. And as Joe Burrow tried to roll out around him, he just grabbed Joe Burrow with an arm because that guy is stronger than everybody
Jim
else.
Schwartz is a new Browns defensive coordinator. He's a very good defensive coordinator, has been his entire time in the NFL. And if he's going to line up Myles Garrett right on top of the ball as a middle linebacker that's blitzing and crossing over while he's doing it, I have a bold prediction. Myles Garrett is going to intercept a snap this year.